Your
Live from Indianapolis, Indiana, welcome to the Crossroads Sports Radio Show, presented by Scott K. Nichols and State Farm Insurance. And now, here's your hosts, Brandon Reef and Jonathan Birdsong.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a Tuesday edition Crossroads Sports Radio Show, episode number 256. I am your host, Brandon Reef. We'll be joined by my co-host, Jonathan Birdsong, here momentarily. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight is a big, big night in the association. This is a type of night that is franchise-altering type of night. Myself, Jonathan Birdsong, we will be talking NBA playoffs. We have the NBA draft lottery tonight here in an hour. 8 o'clock, draft lottery. Me and Jonathan are going to watch and live react here on the show tonight for that final half hour of our show. We'll find out who gets number one pick, who gets Victor Wembanyama. Myself and Jonathan will be doing that. All that and more. Let's bring my co-host on here. JB, there's going to be a franchise tonight. Their course of action is going to be turned drastically.
Absolutely, man. Everybody's been enamored. Thanks, man, for welcome. You know what I'm saying? It's good to be back, man, you know. But like, yeah, man, Victor Wembanyama, we sweepstakes, we find out where he goes to play at in the NBA draft lottery tonight, man. So a lot of excitement around that, a lot of talk around, you know what I'm saying, sports network about what that kind of looks like, you know what I'm saying, who might get the number one pick. The Pacers actually have a shot, you know what I'm saying, at getting the number one pick. They'll finish, we all know, you know what I'm saying, no worse than the top 7. So, but yeah, man, some excitement tonight as far as like, you know what I'm saying, those fresh faces we just saw, you know what I'm saying, in March and April in the tournament. You know what I'm saying, those guys as well. Some of that, you know what I'm saying, all that's going to come to pay, you know what I'm saying, tonight. We get to see, like, you know what I'm saying, where everybody goes.
Yeah, tonight is
potentially.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. The Pacers actually have a shot to be 8th as well, and even 9th, John. It's a minimum shot, but the biggest odds for the Pacers right now locally here are the Pacers to be the 8th pick right now. That's the greatest odds for Vegas that they are going to have the 8th pick. There is a 6% chance. 6% chance they could have the number one pick tonight. There's also a 18% chance, or no, I think it's a 23% chance that they could have one of the top 4 picks, that they could be in the top 4. They will not have the 5th or 6th. The way that's been determined already, there's no possible way they can get the 5th and 6th. So they can have the 7th, the 4th, the 3rd, the 2nd, the 1st, the 8th, or the 9th pick tonight. I don't know how that math works out for no 5 or 6, but it's there has been 7 franchises, John, who had the 7th best odds going into the lottery and have found their way into a top 3 pick. So it has happened before. The crazy thing is that it's already been determined in the back room of the venue that they're doing it, under lock and key. I was listening to somebody today who's been in one of the past ones, and just what the process goes. They let media back there, but you have to put all your cell phones away until after the show and all that, but it goes through the entire process. So all the cards, all that's already been determined. It just gets unveiled later tonight in about an hour, and we will see what happens. We're going to live react here on the show as they do the 4-team lottery selections. We will see. Also, John, we got NBA playoffs. We are in the conference finals. And don't blink your eyes. I never thought I'd say, hey, we're back in 2020 because of the crazy year it was. But we've got bubble conference finals. We've got Lakers and Nuggets. Game 1 starts tonight after the lottery. And then we've got Celtics and Heat in the other one. John, the Lakers knocked off the Warriors 4-2. We kind of went live on Saturday and talked about that. Klay Thompson, horrible series.
Yeah.
You know, these Warriors, is the dynasty over? But I doubt it. Sounds like they want everybody back, except for Bob, except for the GM. He might be the one leaving because he doesn't have the balls to trade any of the guys.
Man.
So it looks like he's going to be out for them. Lakers conference finals against the Nuggets. They split the season series 2-2. What's your thoughts?
Just going into we're talking about playing Denver, right?
Yep.
They got a handful with the 2-time MVP in Jokic, right? They gotta get the best. You gotta get the best version of Anthony Davis that you every night. And that's kind of how I feel. We know LeBron's gonna do what LeBron does, but Anthony Davis, you gotta be, you know what I'm saying, also level every night.
Joker, he's averaging 30 points this postseason, 11 career triple doubles in his playoffs. It's the most by a center all time. I think he's going to have to play bully ball as he's done in the past at some points. I think he's going to have to play bully ball to Anthony Davis because Anthony Davis doesn't really like contact. Anthony Davis doesn't really like bully ball. I think that's where the Nuggets, as long as he doesn't get stupid to pick up fouls, but you can play bully ball against him.
Right. You know, Nikola Jokic likes to, you know, play in the phone booth offensively, so there's going to be a lot of elbows high, and you know, Anthony Davis' head. Let's hope it doesn't connect. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm really hoping for a injury-free series where nobody kind of comes up and pulls up lane with a hamstring or anything like that. I think Brandon, quite honestly, I mean, there's another player on the Lakers side that has a little bit of star power that can get hot.
Austin Reeves?
D'Angelo Russell.
Oh.
Well, hold on, man. I like Austin Reeves. I don't want to, I think sometimes his offensive capabilities are a little bit limited. He's a dynamic player though. He's going to get paid this summer. But you know what I'm saying? On the other side, Brandon, look at the other side. You couldn't tell me you don't think, you know what I'm saying, the Denver Nuggets play offense, even if Jokic gets into foul trouble. Let's say something crazy like that. Like what then they go to Porter Jr. They can go through Aaron Gordon. You know what I'm saying? They have bench support in Bruce, what's his name? Bruce Brown. You know what I'm saying? Who's a spark plug off the bench. You know what I'm saying? So the Lakers will try to, I think, slow the tempo down, which might not necessarily be what they really want to do because that's kind of placing the Denver's hand too. You know what I'm saying? But I think Denver's definitely the faster team. What are they going to get out of, excuse me, Brandon, what are the Lakers going to get out of, you know what I'm saying, what's the kid who had the great Walker Ford, you know what I'm saying, and Hatcher Murray. They've been spotty, but very inconsistent, you know what I mean? And I mean, when they had their moment, their big spot, you know what I'm saying, they came up for the team, but like, the Denver Nuggets got a lot of offensive firepower, man.
They do. Who is going to have a bigger influence in the Western Conference Finals, LeBron or Joker? I feel like it's probably going to be Joker, I would think, right?
Nah, man. LeBron getting calls, man. LeBron's already whining. I'm sorry. You know, hey, man, you know LeBron works the referees, man.
Everybody does.
And you know, well, he's the, you know what I'm saying, the main one. So, that part of the game, I think I would side with the Lakers. And you know what I'm saying? But they got, I mean, defensively, I think the Lakers, you know what I mean, they'll try to keep it close. They can't get to a shootout. you know what I'm saying, back and forth with Denver. This isn't the same Lakers team that went 2-2. I think you sent me that a while back. They split two.
Yes.
They went 2-2. So they split the 4-game series this year. So
one of the games, LeBron and AD did not play. So
okay, so yeah, I would even say this is almost even not a completely different team, but it's a Denver team that's definitely locked in. They ain't been this close since how long? Never.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Definitely not with Jokic. So
who you like?
Man,
who you like and how many games?
Who do I like? Who I like and how many games? Man, I really like Denver. And I like Denver in 6 games.
Okay. I'm gonna say Nuggets in 7.
Wow.
7.
If he goes 7, wow.
Give me 7. Give me 7. I want them all. They give me.
Man, you think LeBron got a hyperbaric chamber in his hotel room so he can deal with the Denver altitude?
I hope. I mean, listen, I'd like to see Bron get another title. I've never been shy of that. I'm a Bron fan. I just
right.
I don't know. I feel like the way they've played this season, it's got to catch up to you at some point, and
right.
It could be here. So we'll see. I think Denver takes tonight. I think they win tonight's game fairly easy, 8-9 points. I think they win tonight. Yeah, I'd like to see it go 7. I think Denver. John, we talked a little on Saturday with it, but we got to recap it a little bit. Warriors dynasty, is it a wrap? And where do the Warriors go from here?
I know everybody's kind of calling for Klay Thompson to, you know what I'm saying, for them to trade him or whatever, man. I think he just takes a big massive pay cut and he stays there. Jordan Poole, I don't know. I mean, even like I said on the live show that we did this past weekend, I don't know what's going on with Jordan Poole to the tune. He just went broke.
$50,000 date.
Yeah, terribly broke. So we have Ice Spice. There's some other young pieces that they have that I'd like to keep. That I think they'll still keep around. But Draymond Green is the elephant in the room, right? So unless it's crazy, Brandon. So like, what's going on in Phoenix? And I parallel. So like, why are you automatically turning to Phoenix? Because I say that because Draymond Green can either stay or he goes to one of the other 2 big Western powerhouses in Phoenix. My personal opinion, in Phoenix or Los Angeles Lakers. But that's how I kind of see with the Golden State Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
No, not a whole lot of, hey man, let's put Jordan Poole with Andrew Wiggins and see if we can get, you know what I'm saying, Towns or something. You know what I mean? I know I said Gobert. I mean, the Golden State Warriors are a little woefully thin at the center position. You know what I mean? And Gobert could probably help them with some of that. Could Gobert fit with that team? I know somebody listening to me say, man, Gobert can't play with Steph. Man, well, you know, it's all about who if the guys can get along. But you know, but I think Jordan Poole is kind of the odd man out, man. His play like declined, and maybe he needs to change the place, a new destination, a new home. You got to tell that his not draft side, but his stock is still kind of high because he didn't necessarily have a terrible season. He just had a terrible playoff series. But like, no, man, I kind of see there's no panic with the Golden State Warriors, I think, at all. And because even with the irritants that Draymond Green, like they are fine with it. It's like they're goofy, not goofy, but it's like their uncle who comes over and gets on your nerves or whatever, but you love him because he's your uncle.
Right.
He does all the wrong things, but he's your uncle. He's a flaming idiot, but he's your uncle and you love him. So I don't know, man. There's part of me. I mean, a lot of me says like I don't think anything happened. They run it back with the same squad, minus maybe Jordan Poole and another piece.
Okay. The Suns, we hit on them. Suns are looking to shop Chris Paul. That's a lot of money, $30 million next year. Looking to shop him, get him out of there. The Suns are now shopping DeAndre Ayton after they finessed the Pacers last year. Now they're already ready to get rid of him. They fired their head coach, Monty Williams. They're eyeing the likes of Tyronn Lue from the Clippers, which is crazy. That they would try to go out and get him. There's also Budenholtz that's out there, Frank Vogel, and Doc Rivers, who just got fired today from the 76ers. So there's those type of people out there, possibly for the Suns. It sounds like James Harden wants to either go to Houston or to Phoenix. You believe that, going back to Houston? Harden wants to go back to Houston or Phoenix for next season. Man, there's just a lot going on. First, let's hit Suns, and then the craziness with the 76ers.
The 76ers, man, like...
I said Suns first. Suns at first. Go in order.
You want to do the Suns?
Yep.
The Suns?
Yep.
Kevin Durant is in Isha Bazir. James, I call you James. Brandon, why would James Harden be with the Phoenix Suns? They about to ruin Devin Booker's, they about to ruin Devin Booker's career. Listen, why would Ishaba ever think about James Harden? When has it worked out?
It hasn't.
When has it the MVP season?
He's getting older.
Okay. But it's disappointing. It's very disappointing, Brandon. But
it's also on Doc Rivers because he sucks. He can't. He sucks.
Well, wait a minute, Brandon. We can't have a center, Joel Embiid, thinking he's a shooting guard.
It's too late.
Like, you 7 foot, man. The 76ers, that's bad. They're gonna get another coach fired.
The 76ers are eyeing Budenholzer, Sam Cassell, Mike D'Antoni, Nick Nurse, and Frank Vogel.
Can you believe that? Mike D'Antoni?
He's the only one that can corral James Harden.
Mike D'Antoni? Is it worth it? But, man, it's not worth the headache, man. Not for me. So, Kevin Durant is
telling Dan Burke the job.
The new owner. He's telling the damn. That maybe, but I don't know if they can last the whole season as head coach. But listen, I think Kevin Durant is in Ishaba's ear. He's telling him, hey man, it's gonna work out. We'll make it work out. Blah blah blah. What else you got to do? This kid Aiden don't want. He's a punk. He don't want to play.
Yep.
Move him out anyway. But here's what's kooky, man. Jay, remember the former Pacer? What's his name? He's the general manager over there. He's gonna get fired too.
James Jones.
He's gonna get fired. Yeah, he's gonna get fired. Who's gonna be the coach of the Phoenix Suns? Hot damn mess.
Kevin Johnson, Dan Marley,
Dan Marley,
Cedric Sabalas,
is he still at Grand State?
Rex Chapman,
Grand State University?
AC Green.
Man, you going down the line, ain't you? Give him to me. Charles Barkley.
Yeah, I'll just keep going, you know.
Yeah, Jeff Hornacek. Tom Chambers?
Tom Chambers, I'm thinking of. I was thinking Tom Gugliotta, but I don't think he played down there for him.
He wasn't. No. Hey, man, Gugliotta wasn't.
Was he? I thought he was. I had
to find him.
I'm looking right now because I don't want somebody to fact check me and call my ass out.
He was a Sun.
He did play for the Suns. 98 to 02-03. El Penny, come on, baby.
Oogly.
Reggie Miller going to be a Suns coach. Come on now, he loves it out there. But to be honest, man, the NBA is just recycling coaches because all these coaches got fired, getting jobs now. Budenholtz, I think, will be the coach. But here's another thing: you talk about the headache of James Harden coaching him out there wherever he would go if he stayed in Philly or went to. But what about Kevin Durant, man? You know I'm the biggest banging the drum against Kevin Durant this year. Like, this dude get coaches fired.
But I listen. They have the playoffs have made the season kind of like you forget about it. The season was terrible for me. The playoffs have been a little bit better, but when these stars don't show up in these quote unquote, and it's not even quote unquote, these are big time games, man. Why didn't you show up?
Right,
Aiden, you wasn't out there. Why didn't you show up, Joel Embiid?
Right.
Wait a minute, James Harden had 9 points. Joel had 15. You the MVP. Give the MVP trophy back. He needs to give it to Joker.
His mom already took it.
Okay, well, it's horrible, man. The MVP had 50 points in a game 7.
John, they got blitzed.
MVP.
I sent you a text. I watched the game. Third quarter was a rout by Jason Tatum, an explosion. Who I called some shit on Jason Tatum back in the day, but my God, there was no end in sight. It was a Rainmaker 3 after Rainmaker 3 after Rainmaker 3.
He kept on hitting. Yeah, he wasn't gonna miss.
And it wasn't even just him. Brogdon's hitting shots. Jaylen Brown's hitting shots. 60-year-old Al Horford hitting a shot.
Ain't that terrible? Malcolm Brogdon 12 points in a game 7, and it wasn't for the Pacers. I'll digress.
But yeah, I don't know who coaches them. Bob Knight? Shoot, I don't. Coach K?
Oh, boy. Dan Dockich?
Dan Dockich?
Three foolish men. I put you right in that category.
I mean, he put you right up there. Speaking of idiots, I want to talk about idiots real quick.
What you got?
John Morant. This dude doesn't get it. He doesn't get it, John. And I want you.
I don't.
You went in on him a little bit from the last time, but I sent you a video that it was broken down all the crap that he's done over time. John, how does he not? It's 2 months later. Does his dumbass brain not pick it up the first time?
Man, I couldn't believe it. I thought it was a joke. I gotta stop thinking that, you know what I'm saying, these things are hoax. There's no really hoaxes anymore. Like, I grew up in a time where it was hoax, man. You know what I'm saying? They said, you know what I'm saying, Bob Barker's dead. Bob Barker ain't dead. Bob Barker's alive right now. Everybody thought Bob Barker was dead. He's alive right now. It's a hoax if you thought he was dead. The point is, like, John Morant is one of the faces of the NBA because he's young. He's under 20. I do believe he's under 25. And, you know, he's, you know, impacted the culture. The youth love him. But, like, he's in the transition of, like, it's a head scratch, man. It's really definitely a head scratch because it seems like a family man at the same time, too. Try to portray that. But at the same time, man, you're running around here with pistols and flashing it like, you know what I'm saying, you're Billy Badass and, like, living a lifestyle that's not what you really are. You're not a drug dealer.
He's a fraud.
You're not a rap.
He's the fraud.
You're not a rap star. You know what I'm saying? And I'm unfortunately, those types of things, that type of imagery is painted with, you know what I'm saying, what I just kind of, you know what I'm saying, with rap stars, unfortunately. But, like, Brandon, I know you saw it, or maybe you didn't, but, like, you know what I'm saying, like, real gangsters are not calling him out because, like, you know what I'm saying, real gangsters are like, dude, you over here, you on TV every other day, you make, you know what I'm saying, $30 million a year. And for you to try to want to slide up on and do like street culture, it doesn't make sense. It's like idiotic. You can't help school. Where did John Morant go to school? Was it Murray State?
Murray State, down in Kentucky.
Man. I mean, they might want to rescind.
John, to steal one of the friends from our guy, JMV, the jackassery that John Morant is portraying, I think he's one of the dumbest dudes in the NBA.
Well, the NBA.
All this track record that he has. There was an issue with his mom somewhere was it at a Target? No, it was at a Foot Locker with an employee, and he asked her to leave because she was causing the scene. And she called her son, and her son brought up 8 dudes and tried to beat up the clerk and threatened him.
Wow.
Threatened him. He went in the back room and hid for 30 minutes, then went out in the parking lot, and his buddies were trying to beat him up out there.
Wow.
And then, I mean, these are just,
wow.
I heard it all. And then you had the incident with another incident with one of his buddies that happened at an AAU game, and John Morant acted like an idiot.
Right.
And then you got the Pacers incident. Then you had the first gun incident. Apparently, Dad don't give a shit because Dad's just like smiling and being in the public. and saying, "Hey, look
Yeah.
at me, I look like Usher." That's what his dad's
Yeah.
doing. John, at some point, and let's be real, people, that was a hoax, and he lied, and it was just for PR stunt for that ESPN interview he did with Jalen Rose. Let's be real, okay?
That was pretty bad.
This
That was
idiot
pretty bad, man.
has a group of friends. Well, I don't even know if you want to call them friends, acquaintances, whatever. They don't give a shit about his well-being, his future, and all that. And you know what? I'm at that point where you've tried with this dude. It doesn't work. It is what it is. I hate to say it, John, but whatever happens to him, happens to him. I'm at that point. Because he's going to do that to the wrong person one day.
Correct. That's what I always tell people, man. People love Tupac and glorify Tupac, but the same gangster members that he ran around with were the same people that killed him. Different, from the same set. You know what I mean? So, like, don't start running this street stuff. Don't make sense. The world Ja Morant built for himself as a basketball, up and coming basketball star in the NBA. Like, that makes sense. Like, dude, the world of that. Like, you need to separate yourself from that. If you're trying to pull that into over here, it has never worked for anybody. It's not gonna work for you right now. So why would you? You know what I'm saying? Why would you try to blend that together, man? I'm a wish him well. I will say this, man. The NBA will not allow anybody to be any NBA. I don't think any NBA superstar to, like everybody says, like
tarnish
the NFL, the NBA. Yeah, the NBA got the similar. You know what I'm saying? There's just things that are kind of contractually built. They won't go. Like, the NFL come with a hammer and be like, it's about the shield, and like that's when a player got cut because what I'm saying. What the NBA does, they'll suspend, and when the suspension comes, like, you missed a check, a game check, dude. Our Ja Morant game check is like what, $89,000? You know what I'm saying? The goons will leave then. Once you can't pay them, you know what I mean? Or you know what I'm saying? Once you ain't getting paid, so it really doesn't make sense what's going on with this particular superstar. But like Brandon, we are in the States. Like, he ain't the only one. Well, he's the only one with like street stuff going on. But like this other stories of like this, you said let's be real. I think guys, these young men get this mega cash deal up front. They know it's guaranteed, and they get an attitude. I don't have to come to work. Or I can be whatever the fuck I want to be. Sorry, pardon my French. I can be whatever the fuck what I want to be because the NBA embraces all types. But yeah, the NBA is still a business that wants to protect this brand.
Right.
They want to protect this brand. So, like, hey man, like, it's not about. He said something statement about want to be more like LeBron. No, man, be more like what you envision. The NBA has to be here for another 50 years or more. Or 75 years or more because we all love it. We all love it. Hey man, John, you said it right, Brandon. One person cannot stop the flow of this show, man. Ja Morant, if you can't realize how special you are, how special you could be part of this NBA story, that's too bad, man. Go on, flash your guns on Instagram. There'll be another application.
How long do they suspend? Because you got to make it. You got to make it hurt. I feel like you do because the last one it didn't do anything.
People think, man, you got to make it. It got to be 35 to 40. It has to be. It has to be
half a season.
35 to 40. 30. That would be 40 games. Okay. It has to be. He has to feel the physical.
Okay. I agree. I totally agree with that. We got some breaking news.
No fine. Only my fine, but yeah, no fine.
Breaking news. World of college basketball, fitting from our local product here, Ball State. Previously, John, we know Peyton Sparks left the program and went down to Indiana to play college basketball for the Hoosiers coming up this season. So Mike Lewis lost as one of his top guys. They lost another guy, John, and Ball State transferred Jalen Sellers. This is from John Rothstein, the college basketball guru.
Okay.
Ball State transfer Jalen Sellers is currently visiting UCF There's like 7 or 8 teams that are wanting his services, D1 style. Obviously D1, but above kind of the mid-major market. So, but Jalen Sellers,
Right.
another Ball State product, looks like out of Muncie.
Well, you know, the portal is ever shifting, and what was rock solid 2 weeks ago might not be rock solid, 2 minutes ago. Ball State is somewhat of a flux, I guess. Fluid, man. They got a lot of players that came in from the portal, but like now they got another guy leaving. So it is, as me and Brandon kind of follow, as we're alumni, it is kind of disheartening to hear that, man, because the best thing, correct me if I'm wrong, the best thing for a mid-major school like that is for guys to gel and to get older, not just keep on jumping from school to school. Like it doesn't work like that. On a mid-major level, my personal opinion, doesn't work like that on mid-major level. So, hopefully, Coach Lewis, when we can get him on, right? Hopefully, Coach Lewis can get a corral on, on this and on this portal thing as far as Ball State is concerned, and keep the guy. I mean, they really need the guys to jail and stay around.
Yeah.
With some MAC titles.
We're half hour away, John, from the lottery. We'll have our talks with the lottery pick. So. We've been playing all leading up to this, John. We've been doing our tankathon, our NBA draft tankathon, and I think it's no better time than to kind of do it right now, to give ourselves a couple tankathon simulators to see where our Pacers get at and stuff for it. So without further ado,
okay,
let me scan it and okay, so. With the eighth pick in the NBA 2023 mock tankathon draft, the Indiana Pacers, John, have the 8th pick and pick Jarace Walker, power forward, Houston. I like that selection if they go that route, because the power forward, let's be real, it's like the revolving door down at Circle Center Mall. It's just player after player after player has played that power forward position. Jarace Walker, Cam Whitmore, Taylor Hendricks from UCF. They're not sexy names, but they're names that can fill that power forward position. 6'8", 6'7", 6'9", respectively. We'll see kind of where that could fit in for it. So it's possible. 30 minutes away from the draft lottery.
Right, man. That wouldn't be a bad name if that would to like kind of fall to them. That's kind of what he's probably one of the top two defensive guys in this draft. And I would say the kid, once you see this kid, Amin Thompson. Oh my God, Brandon! But he's gonna be like top 3, top 4.
Yeah.
But no, man, Walker would be a good pickup for the Pacers, for Darcy.
Yeah, absolutely. So 35 minutes away. We're excited for it. I'm gonna do one more just for the ho. You gotta believe.
What you got?
You gotta believe. With the first pick in the NBA mock draft, the Indiana Pacers select Victor Wembanyama. John, there's a small shot. I would like it. I would be happy. Here's my thing, John. I think even if the Pacers got number 2, I still don't think they would go with Scoot Henderson. They don't need a point guard. I still think they would take Brandon Miller at the 2 or the 3.
Right. Brandon Miller. At 3? Again, man.
6'9", 200-pound freshman.
Yeah, Brandon Miller is a very impactful. He's going to be a very versatile player on the next level, either as a shooting guard or small forward. My personal opinion, don't necessarily. It's going to put a knock on the kid. Doesn't necessarily attack at the rim like you would want it, like you think he should, like attack. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes he settles for like floaters and whatnot. And then sometimes you might, like in the tournament, he kind of like disappeared after the little hot run. So I don't know. I mean, he'll be there, but it's like the kid, Amin Thompson's athleticism, like it's gonna be there too, man. But you know what I'm saying? You see more like we've seen more of Brandon Miller, so I would definitely. I mean, that would edge it, if you twist my arm between those two players.
Okay. We'll do the prediction now. That way, we'll have it going into the tankathon here or the draft lottery, and people can play it back and make fun of us, call us idiots, call us smart, whatever. John, your prediction for the Indiana Pacers. What lottery ball is getting picked out for the Pacers tonight? Give me yours. I'll give you mine.
You said we can't get 5. You said we can't get 5.
Can't get 5 or 6.
And then I say we're going to float right in at a good old safety 7.
You're going to say 7. Okay. So John says 7. My heart.
Brandon's thinking pie in the sky.
What?
I said Brandon's thinking pie in the sky.
I'm going to say 4.
Whew. That high.
I'm going to say 4. And I'll tell you this even, John. I don't even know if we would draft at 4, to be honest. I could see that being traded by Pritchard if we got the 4th pick. Because after the first 3, really 4 through 9 are kind of interchangeable with players, really.
It's true. What you saying is
Amen
true.
Thompson, Jerace Barker, Asir Thompson, Cam Whitmore, Anthony Black, Taylor Hendricks. Those guys are all kind of interchangeable a little bit for what you're looking at. It's really a 3-man race for the top: Wembanyama, Scoot, and Brandon Miller. Any other time, Brandon Miller would be the number 1 pick overall. So,
right.
We'll see. I'm gonna be optimistic. I'm gonna be optimistic. People say you're so down on the Pacers all the time. I'm just being realistic back then. I'm going to say 4. Let's go up and get that 4th pick. Let's make a little thunder. Why not? Why not, Pacers? Who gets the number 1 pick, John? Who is your selection for the number 1 pick? Who gets that lucky lottery ball? Your odds tonight. Let me give you your odds. Detroit has a 4. Obviously, the top 3 have a 14% chance. Detroit, Houston, San Antonio, and then Charlotte, 12.5%.
Charlotte, oh man, I thought them. I'm gonna say Houston.
You're saying Charlotte?
No, I said Houston.
Houston.
I'm saying Houston.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go San Antonio.
It makes too much sense for it to be the Spurs.
It makes too much sense, dog. Every time, whether it be Tim Duncan, they would get themselves a crazy star player. I forget the actual term they use, larger than life talent, like they did Tim Duncan. Man, this is for the Spurs. I actually put $20 on the Spurs to get the number 1 pick. Those odds were perfect. They were plus 750.
He already has a relationship, with Tony Parker.
Yep.
So again, it would already be like, coming into the family. Victor Wembanyama, whenever we find out here in the next 25 minutes or so, whoever's number 1 pick, whatever team picks number 1, that's where he's going to be. It's going to be a mess if it is Houston, because I don't know if that's like the team, like the guards.
It's going to be a mess if it's Detroit. Like, how many number 1 guys can you get?
So? Hey man, Detroit. Oof. No, it wouldn't be bad up there. They got him and Jay Ivey.
Him and Ivy and Cade and Killian Hayes. How many guys?
Man, it might be. Hey man, let's go. They're going to be real young.
Luka Garza, not Luka.
Luka Garza. If he's still around, but no, he's still around. But
I think it's the Spurs. I do.
Yeah.
And you said, sorry, I'm doing 2 things at once now. You said Houston.
Yeah, I said Houston. Yeah.
That makes too much sense. Because Houston, they just had, if we look back, they had previously, last year, they had the number 3 pick. They took Jabari Smith. The year before that, they had the number 2 pick. They took Jalen Green.
Right.
So
they're going to get this kid, man, and like we're never like he's special enough so that when he comes on the basketball court, like you can't he's that special. Like there's no part of the game that he's not going to impact. The teammates that's currently on that roster is not just like, nah, man. That's not a good conducive team that I would want to put around him. Jalen Green has been a disappointment, as well as Porter, who's been traded out how many times,
yep.
Right? With San Antonio, though, Brandon, Popovich, if Popovich is 10 years younger, he's not. He's 74 years old, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not.
Didn't he retire?
Did
he retire?
Either he retired or it's not been official, man. But listen, you talk about who goes. Monty Williams is just familiar with that organization as he with anybody else's as well. So that whole situation just bugged me about Phoenix and cutting ties with him. But there it is. But like Victor Wembanyama showing up.
You said his name like 6 different times tonight, in 6 different ways.
Victor, I'm not a French.
Wembanyama.
Victor Wembanyama.
There you go.
When he gets here, man, I would like to say, if it is the Spurs, man, I would just be leery of he hasn't really put the torch in anybody else's hands to like run that program to where it needs to go. Pat Riley sits up in the tower in the booth. We know he plays checkers or chess rather, but like my goodness, man, Eric Spoelstra's been there for how many years? 17.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm kind of worried. I'm worried. You know what I mean? I want Victor Wembanyama. That's why I said Houston. I want him to get to the Spurs, but even to get to the Spurs, man, like what is that nurturing process going to look like?
I would love to have him in Indiana. Why not us, John? Why not?
Sure.
All my hopes. This is the time where all the Pacers fans are happy and optimistic. That's going to get crushed here in about 18 minutes. But we have a shot. And you could have more.
Orlando?
Huh?
Could it be Orlando?
Oh.
I hope not.
Oh.
That'd be illegal. Brandon. That would be illegal.
It'd be about as illegal as if it was Portland. To give Damian Lillard something.
And Pablo Banchero.
I mean, Portland would make me more upset with him and Dame Lillard there.
Nah, he ain't going to Portland. And doesn't the Mavericks have like a 10% chance?
No. Dallas has a 3%.
Well, they take that last game.
Okay. They tanked the last 10. They went 2-8.
No, I'm saying to remember they pulled the starters like, well, that was something.
Yeah, I do remember they missed the playoffs. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They went 2-8 their last 10. They have a 13% chance for a top 4 pick, a 3% chance for the number 1 pick. The Pacers actually have a 29% chance for a top 4 pick. So we'll see. John, NBA Eastern Conference Finals, we got Heat Celtics. Is there any way that the Celtics don't win this Eastern Conference Finals? I know that the Heat will put up a fight. Jimmy Buckets will put up a fight.
Jimmy Buckets, he's one of the all-time greatest. I'm saying, Brandon, you correct me if I'm wrong, man. All-time greatest playoff moment, Jimmy Butler. The last couple seasons, he's had them. You can put him on that list. I mean, if we had a list of playoff players, man, he'd be on it. I think though, Brandon, he's a little bit outgunned here, ain't he? It'd be one thing to take out a Marcus Smart and a Malcolm Brogdon team with a Jaylen Brown, but daggone, man, they also got Jason Tatum, man. It's a lot. He doesn't have. I don't even know what the health status of Tyler Hero. I don't think he's coming back anytime soon.
No.
Especially with he has a broken hand. He doesn't have all his, you know what I'm saying, but they've gotten good play out of Kyle Lowry in spurts. Ain't that a damn shame? They've gotten good play out of Kyle Lowry in spurts.
Fat Lowry?
They've got man, shame on me. I'm not saying that, man. He probably do need to go to Dylan Mills.
Big Butt Lowry?
That's not my place to say that. Yeah, but like Bam Adebayo is like, you know what I'm saying, and they have a no excuse attitude, and they well scout the team. They everybody plays defense.
Oh yeah.
Everybody, and you got little veterans back there in Kevin Love.
Yeah, Kevin Love's been a surprise for
I
me
think,
in Miami this year. Kind of how well he's kind of fit in with them.
Yeah, fit in with it, right? So I say, you know, they push it to 6. The Heat to push it to 6, man. They always run out of gas, man. You know why? Because you talk about change, Brandon. They might have to change. They might have to go ahead and let Tyler Hero go up out of there, man. They need him right now, and he's not available at all.
But they've gotten good play from Gabe Vincent and Max Struss.
Absolutely.
Both of them have given great minutes. They're both averaging double figures right now, 11 and 9, or 11 and 10, excuse me.
But think about it. Yeah, but Tyler Hero, and the injury is one thing, but he's had an inconsistent play as well in recent years, man. Remember the bubble, we loved him in the bubble. We thought that was the ascension. We thought, you know what I'm saying, he was the ascension, he was the next white chocolate. We haven't seen white chocolate in a long time, man. So the Parkey brothers. So like, I don't know, man. I like the Miami Heat, but again, I think, you know what I'm saying, Jaylen Brown probably goes off for 2 games in this series, and then Jason Tatum just probably, you know what I'm saying, crushes everybody's hopes down in Miami, man. It'll be good entertaining series, man, because, you know, the Heat fans like to pack it in for the cameras and whatnot, man. But nah, man, Boston is too good for this.
You got your Final Four. You got Nuggets, Lakers, Heat, Celtics. John, who's your prediction?
Cannot be no way. Boston Celtics versus Denver Nuggets in the final. There's no way that can happen. There's no way that can happen. But like logic kind of points to that for me.
You get a rematch of Lakers and Lakers Celtics. Bring back that rematch.
I wish LeBron could turn back time, man. He can't.
No.
I wish he could, man. So I'm saying Boston and Denver.
Okay. Boston and Denver. Interesting. I kind of like that.
City.
Yeah, and Boston's played. They've kind of hit and miss. I will say it, you know, this year, the way they've played, and they're going to go as far as Tatum. I still think Tatum takes a lot of bad shots, and sometimes you get lucky.
Oh, boy.
And you hit your shots. I mean, he's averaging 28 here in the postseason. Jalen with 14. It's just, besides that, you know, Marcus Smart averaging 15 and Brogdon 14 and Derek White 12. They don't have a bench, and that's my concern for the Celtics, that their bench, okay, Horford, Grant Williams, Peyton Pritchard, you know, it's a very thin bench compared to the Miami Heat. The Heat have a little bit more of a deeper, I feel. The Heat have 9 guys in double figures. So I kind of like the Heat to make it lengthy and maybe force a 7th game. Jimmy's good enough to make him a force a 7 as long as they can stay healthy. Against Boston, I think Boston finds a way to go back to the finals. Yeah, like you said, takes on the Joker. I think Denver cuts the Nets this year. I think Denver cuts the Nets.
I didn't know you was going there, buddy.
I know. I didn't think I was going there either, but here I am.
Denver Nuggets? Man, you might should have went live right there, buddy.
Me and Rocky.
It would really put the icing on the cake for.
It's dumb, but
he's a 2-time MVP. Probably could have been a 3-time MVP. He's always up there. It could be him. It could be Giannis in those MVP battles because night after night he does put on a fantastic show. And it reminds you of like late '90s basketball. You wish he could probably play a little bit better defense, but he plays like late '90s like Sabonis basketball. That's what it reminds you of, right? You just hope, you know what I mean? Can he get it over the top? Can Jamal Murray stay 100% healthy? I know there was a question mark about him kind of coming into tonight's game as well, man. So, Ken Porter Jr., who also battled some health issues, he hasn't battled him lately. But again, okay, remember, he was Mr. a lottery ticket. Thought to be next Kevin Durant, man. So a lot of unknown territory for this Denver Nuggets team, but it's a team that they've been together for quite a long time, and it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying, put a lot of these big time contracts that they accrued and this camaraderie they put together year over year. Like, this is the closest you've been. So you saying the Denver Nuggets cut down the net? Never, Brandon. I'll have to go with the Boston Celtics.
Of course.
But we'll get to that. We'll get to that, you know what I'm saying? But it's going to be, these Eastern Conference and West Conference series are going to be, you know what I'm saying, just as entertaining as I think, you know, hopefully just as entertaining as the last time these teams connected with one another.
Okay. By the way, I just looked up Victor Wembanyama's season that he played with I can't even think of the team name, the 59ers or whatever the hell the team is called.
Yeah, it's crazy.
John, you realize they got knocked out in the semifinals, and he wasn't even the best player on his team. How about
Who are you
that?
talking about? Wembanyama?
Yeah, he wasn't the best player on his own team. Will Cummins was the MVP.
They have different levels of league play over there. He is playing with grown professional basketball, but he's not playing with necessarily guys his own age. But it's different levels of league play over there, man. So, and they kind of restrict. What I learned is like they kind of restrict his minutes because they is there compared to for his NBA journey, and like he is still very much a teenager, and he's still very much, you know what I'm saying, you know what I mean. Not necessarily young-minded, but you know what I'm saying? He's not necessarily exposed to American culture.
How long until he passes Miles Turner?
As what? Oh, man, what do you mean passes Miles Turner?
I mean, on stats. How long until he passes Turner on stats?
Well, I like blocking shots.
Blocking shots, scoring.
Well, you hoping that the Pacers get him. So, man, that's going to be a front court out of this world.
Oh.
That's going to be a front court out of this world.
It will be, but
Miles Turner?
I don't know about Miles. That's a concern.
Hey, man, our sponsor, Scott K. Nichols, State Farm Insurance, is saying he already flashed up on his Facebook page, Wembanyama, and he got a little picture with Wembanyama and Jay Knighty, man.
Okay. Let me think our guy's calling in here. Mike Kelly, what's going on, man?
Man, I was trying to remember if you guys were doing one today. I remember Saturday, and I texted JB. I was like, I was trying to call him. Like, did I already miss it? I've been wheeling and dealing. How you guys doing tonight?
We're good, man. A little nervous with this lottery coming up for my Pacers, but you know.
Yeah. What are you thinking?
I made my prediction. I thought I think I'm gonna be optimistic. We'll have the 4th pick, and John thinks 7.
Yeah.
We can't get 5 and 6. It's impossible, apparently, from what I've read. That there's no way that we can get a 5 or 6 based on mathematics. But 1 through 4 or 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah, that's what my brother was telling me that Sunday. We had a little Mother's Day cookout for our mom and sister, and we were talking a little bit about that after the game. Well, during the game and after the game, just trying to see, where my pride is, but I still, I live here. So, you know what I mean? I try to keep, I really like the team. So, they were doing some things. And so, what do you do on the big? Well, for your front court, what do you do? See, that's my thing. I guess I'm still trying to hold on to old school values, with the big man. But big man ain't big man anymore. They're just a tall guard or something. Nobody really trying to bang. But I still think you need that, because what happens when your jumpers don't fall? You got to pound the paint, get to the line.
Like the Lakers do. Yeah.
Say what?
I said kind of like the Lakers are doing. They're pounding the paint, getting to the free throw line.
Well, yeah, and that's the crazy thing is that's what you need to do. That's what LeBron. That's how LeBron won. That's how he beat Golden State in Cleveland. That's how he won, was the bump. Because when you got those what's the word I'm looking for? When you got those teams that are the pass, the touch.
Yep.
They have I can't think of the word I'm looking for.
Finesse.
What do you call? Well, no. When you rhythm shooting like that,
Okay.
because like how the Lakers, how you got teams that rhythm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, because everybody has a plan, everybody has a way of doing things. But when you push and you bump like East Coast ball, that's what they know. That's what East Coast. Then you got the flash and dash out west. But yeah, you got to. I mean, they all this shooting, and I understand that that's the league. I mean, hell, the Boston Celtics coach, he got Boston shooting jumpers like that. Boston ain't never been that way.
Mm-hmm.
But that my brother was saying that's the thing. But I was like, well, what happens when your shot don't fall?
Yeah. Are you nervous with the Celtics that the depth is kind of not there right now? Are you, as you get to these next possible 2 series?
No, I'm not. The only thing the only thing that I wouldn't say nervous, but the only thing that concerns me is the same thing that's been concerning me for the last 3 years is JT. He's I don't know what it is. I'm not gonna say he's streaky because that's too general. That doesn't describe enough because streaky means like a player where you're in and out. But when he's halfway on. But my problem that I don't like is the only thing I'll let me say this before I get into JT. I like the fact that they let Williams because if they didn't bring Williams, then they probably wouldn't have won that series. Williams made a difference in the paint. It goes back to what I said a minute ago about the big man. I mean, I don't care how much shooting they do, how much Euro step, whatever. You still need a big man to clog that middle. You still need offensive boards. Because when these jumpers don't fall, you still need somebody there. There's no way that anybody can tell me. That's just like NFL saying that offense wins championships. No, it doesn't. Defense wins championships. And since they don't hardly play defense, what's the next thing? The catalyst is them boards.
Mm-hmm.
And the offensive line. So I don't, that's my only thing. And the thing that bothers me is when JT doesn't when he hesitates or whatever you want to call it, okay, then you need to go to your number 2, and that's Jaylen Brown. But when you don't let Jaylen Brown get the ball, that makes it even worse. Now you kill 2 of you with that stuff. So, but Williams coming, Robbie, with him being there, I mean, they needed him last year. Remember, he was hurt, and then when he came, and so they needed him.
If that kid if they could ever get 7 to 8 points out of that kid, he'd be amazing. Consistent points. If he could ever turn into Kevin Looney, he rebounds very well. He can't score worth a damn, Mike, unfortunately. But he's a space eater. He blocks shots. He do everything you want a big post to do. I wish he could like, hey man, one time hit the shot. You know what I'm saying? You had to cross your fingers. But he's like, I'm not saying you don't have him on your team for sure.
Right.
But if he can average 7 to 8 points, my goodness. I know we just said 7 to 8. My goodness. They mess around making him a daggone all defensive team. I mean all the third team NBA or something, man. But like, nah.
Well,
you do need bigs. You do need bigs. You're absolutely right.
You need bigs, but look at all the shooters that we had. Mm-hmm. So he doesn't need to. That's kind of like, I know this might sound far-fetched, but that's kind of like Rodman going to the Bulls. People forgot that he could shoot the ball. They don't need you to shoot the ball. We need you to rebound.
Mike Kelly, remember them old Detroit?
Oh yeah.
Dennis Rodman.
You damn right I do, and the Spurs. I remember him sitting in the corner. I remember, yeah. I mean, was that dude? That was my number. That's my number 2 and 3 team. Is the Spurs and the Pistons. But you have to look at. You got to ask yourself, right? Yeah, it would be good to contribute, but that's the point. That's what a role player does. A role player knows their role. I'm anxious to see what they do in these conference finals because I still say.
But that's what Tatum told Jaylen Brown. A role player knows his role. Isn't that that's what I heard?
Stop that.
Miami. Hell, you might as well quote that clown from Duke when he said that they want to have a meeting about ball distribution when he ain't never passed. He ain't never made a shot he didn't like.
Jaylen Brown would look great in a Pacer uniform.
Who would?
Jaylen Brown would look great in a Pacer uniform.
Oh yeah, man.
We got some draft picks to trade you.
He don't want to break up. He don't want to break up that. They're not gonna break them up like that.
No, they ain't gonna break that up. There's times when Jaylen Brown is the number one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There definitely is.
Now, if we were talking about Danny Ainge, scary behind probably would pull that nonsense off. He probably would send him out there because Bird, because of that. But yeah, Steve was a smart.
I wonder where.
Right.
I wonder where they gonna pick Utah. That might be where Victor Wembanyama plays.
Stop it, John.
Could be.
They're ninth. They're ninth. They're not. He's not going. The Utah Jazz have a 4% chance, the number one pick. I like our 6.
Okay. What is Houston? What are Houston's picks? Because you better watch them.
So
you better watch Houston.
Houston's got 2 and 20.
That's what I thought. I knew they had
Currently the number 2. We'll see what happens. John thinks that the number 1 pick will go to Houston. I think the number 1 pick is going to go to the Spurs because tell me if you haven't heard this before. The Spurs get a generational player. Come on now. They want to keep Pops happy.
But you know what Pop likes to do? Pop likes to let somebody else get him, or he'll drop down and throw him with something.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have the ties with you. He might, a la Leonard. So look how he pulled that off. Paul George. We want Paul George to come back home. Look, George, not Paul George. George Hill. He didn't want to come back here.
Yeah.
See, I'm trying to get home so I can kind of catch a little bit of it, but I wanted to kind of hear what you guys' take was on everything. How you guys feel about that?
Nah, man, I don't like it. I understand it, but whatever Skinner comes back, they bring back in,
Mike,
I don't think it's gonna be better.
Let me ask you this.
It's gonna be better than really.
Because I like to hear, besides me, myself and John talk about it. What's your take on the John Morant thing, man? The dude doesn't get it.
So you remember Lance that worked with us, right?
Yep.
Look on his page. Lance is on some rant. I don't know what he was talking about. I'm gonna tell you like this. Because I am pro gun. So I'm pro 2A, I'm not afraid to say it. But here's the thing. I like fast cars too, but you don't see me driving, weaving in and out of traffic and racing from stoplight to stoplight. So here's my thing. I don't know what his mentality is. I have no idea. But when you have, because Lance went on about Mike Wilbon. I don't even really like Mike Wilbon that much, but I like the fact that he stands. He's a father. So no, I'm not gonna buy my son his shoes, and I don't want him in the house. I don't blame him. Lance seems to think that it's a criminal act, and he hasn't committed a criminal act. But you work for an organization. It's just like Jason Williams jumping on that motorcycle. You know better than that. You got to read the paperwork. You signed it. You work for the NBA. You are an NBA player. You're not a basketball player. You are a basketball player. So the stuff that he keeps doing, we already know. It's already been said. Your friends, I don't know. They ruined. They're not your friends.
Right.
They're leeches.
No, not at all.
And they're not. There's nothing about both of you. I consider both of you guys friends. We worked together. We had great times.
Absolutely.
I enjoyed talking to you both. And I know damn well that neither one of y'all would let me do something. If somebody doesn't tell me that, hey, man, don't do that. I just saw the video this morning.
We allow you come here on and talk about the Cincinnati Bengals, man. That's enough.
Oh,
this guy, man. I'm just around the corner from your house. Don't start that.
Hey,
I know you probably at home.
It's bad enough my Steelers got to beat the Bengals right after Thanksgiving and then 2 days before Christmas. It's bad enough.
Oh, isn't that cute?
So
okay.
All right, Mike.
Yeah, if the game was only one half.
Right. We gotta get ready for the lottery.
But No doubt.
Hey, man,
But
he
yeah, I
looks good, man.
don't know, man. That dude he's
Good,
gonna
man.
be out the league, is what he's gonna be.
Yep.
Yeah, y'all ready?
Yeah, I don't have no sympathy for him. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yep.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. You guys get a second. Look at my post on Lance's page
Okay.
and
Right.
what I said about it.
Sounds good.
But hey, I'm gonna let you guys get, man. I'm a few blocks away from the house, and man, we'll see what they're doing here.
Sounds good. Thanks, Mike.
Cross our fingers.
Big time, man.
Huh?
Big time.
All right.
Big time Bengals.
Hey,
man,
we
Mike Kelly.
the PBA or the Bolo went out. John, he's here. Reggie Sykes, what's going on?
What?
Victor.
Victor.
Wimby
Oh,
to Indy. Hashtag Wimby to
Speaking it
Indy.
into existence. I'm speaking it into existence, guys. I'm speaking it into existence. 6.8% chance. Hey, that's all we need is 1%. The NBA owes us for all the times we've been cheated. They owe us.
Wow.
They owe us for the non-goaltending call when we were playing Cleveland that James did on Victor. They owe us. They owe us for cheating us in New York when Grandmama hit a three at half court after the buzzer that went off, and they gave him the three anyway. That's when they started using the light up backboard and back. They owe us. They owe us
His name's the preacher.
that fine for joining the
They owe
NBA. You know, from the
This man
ABA.
preaching.
They owe us. They owe us. They owe us. Hey, and I figured today would be a good day to call since that bum D. Cox out of town. So I figured today would be a perfect day to call. So I don't have to listen to the stupid sports tape. You know, ain't nothing but a
Hey, I'm going to clip that
So
audio.
it's a perfect day to call.
He owes us. They owe us. I'm clipping that to use that forever on this show.
hey, feel free to use it. Feel free to use it. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm a
Reg,
little
your
excited.
boy
man.
here-
I'm a little excited.
your boy here, Jonathan's been talking some smack about you the last 4 or 5 weeks, you being MIA.
Yeah, man.
I-
I know,
hey, man,
It's
I
been my
heard
fault,
Reggie-
man. I've
You know
been,
what? I'm
I've
calling
been meaning to call,
No,
man, and it's my
No,
fault. I
no.
apologize.
Brandon Reed. I see Reggie all on the golf course. I seen Reggie in South America.
Uh-oh.
I heard Reggie on JMV show.
Yep.
I heard Reggie on Camera and Query. I said, what? Camry? I said, he got that early?
Now you know I'm not
I said,
up
he
that
ain't calling
early.
the
I get
show.
off at 6
You
in the
ain't calling
morning,
the show.
so I'm not calling them
You ain't
guys.
called the show. It's like, you ain't called the show in 3 weeks, man. And I was like, okay. I see how it is.
Hey,
I mean,
man, I
that's
apologize,
America,
man. I should have called after we drafted AR because I was excited. I really thought we was gonna take Will Levis, but I was really
No, you
excited
didn't.
about taking
Wow.
AR.
Right.
I thought that's who we were gonna take. I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm.
But to be honest, I would be happy with any of the first 4 quarterbacks that went. You know, I would have been happy. But I'm more happy with AR because I think he just can run, man, and I think his accuracy can be improved upon.
Red,
You know, and
he
his
gonna sit.
footwork.
Red, he gonna sit 6 games.
No, they ain't. He made you say 6 games?
Yeah.
Nah, I say he's probably gonna sit 2.
Oh,
What?
Yeah, he's gonna be out there, man. He's gonna be out. You gotta throw him in the fire, man. You threw Peyton Manning in the fire, true enough.
Whoa.
Was he a 4-year player at Tennessee?
we're comparing him to
Hey,
He was
Peyton.
a 4-year
We're
player.
comparing him
at
to
Tennessee?
Peyton?
I'm glad you came back. I'm glad you took it away, man, because you came back with some heat, man. That's Owen, and now he's gonna play.
I'm
gonna miss 2 games.
just saying, you got to throw him in the fire. If he does okay during preseason, if he does okay during a trial, if he learns, if he's the fastest learner as they say he is, if he can learn that 5-step drop instead of the 3-step drop, if he can improve his accuracy, you got to throw the young guy out there. You got to, because on the job experience is the best experience. But if he doesn't pick up the offense,
Right.
you know, then you sit, Minshew out there and let him go 2 or 3 games. 6 games, he's not gonna sit 6 games. There's no way he's gonna sit 6 games. Play possible.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
How many wins this year,
and you know
Reg?
something else, man? Huh?
How many wins?
Let me think about it a little bit, man. Let me drop it to you right now. Let me start that one right now.
All right.
Because we really, our defense didn't lose us the games last year. It was our offense. The defense was just out there so long that they couldn't, you're going to get tired. The problem wasn't the defense. The problem was the offense. I just think the things that they did with in Philadelphia,
Yep.
I predict we're going to see some of the same things here. And I know everybody's predicting that, but I'm sure there's going to be some extra twists. And I think we have a better running back in Jonathan. So I just think this offense is going to be dynamic, man. I'm just looking forward to it, man. I really am, man.
Okay.
But I'm looking forward to getting Victor tonight too, man.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking
The
forward to.
hashtag is out on Twitter.
That, man.
Wimby to Indy.
Victor Wembanyama.
Yes. Oh, wow.
Wimby to Indy.
Yes.
That's the hashtag. So, all right, Reg. Well, we're about 6 minutes away from the unveiling, so you'll watch along with.
Well, hey guys, I'm gonna be back. I'm back. So my bad, man. But like I said, that dummy, man. He, it wouldn't have missed me coming. But I'm back.
All right. Sounds good, Reg. Have a good night. Hey, let's cross our fingers and our toes that Wimby to Indy happens tonight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Take care, Reg.
Peace.
All right, John. We are 6 minutes away. We're going to do quick ad reads, pay our bills, get our sponsors out here.
Sure.
We'll do that. We come back. We'll be under 5 minutes to go as the lottery gets unveiled.
You've changed thousands of diapers, cut off hundreds of crusts, played hours of peekaboo and duck goose because you'd do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm insurance agent Scott K. Nichols will help make it easy and affordable to help protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call State Farm agent Scott K. Nichols in Indianapolis today at 317-243-3509. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We also want to thank our sponsor, Mavericks Custom Motorsports, where ideas are created and dreams are born, specializing in custom motorcycles, boats, slingshots, Jeeps, and trucks, offering pickups, delivery, and shipping worldwide. Yes, I said it. Worldwide shipping. Check us out today, MavericksCustomMotorsports.com. Let them know Crossroads Sports sent you. Get all your customizing your motorcycles, your boats. It's boating season here. It's boating season everywhere. Your slingshots, your Jeeps, your trucks. Get them all fancied out, but you need to reach out to Mavericks Custom Motorsports. Get them done today. Check them out, MavericksCustomMotorsports.com. Let them know Crossroads Sports sent you.
Crossroads Sports would like to thank Wiseman Logistics. Their team is dedicated to the successful delivery of your packages. Services, domestic or commercial, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Call 877-744-6212 to set up your delivery. Thanks, Wiseman.
This is Coach Chris Artis, and you're listening to the Crossroads Sports Radio.
All right, we are back. Thank you, Coach Chris Artis, for the re-entry. John, 3 minutes away from the lottery, the Indiana Pacers. Somebody's franchise is about to get turned, you would think. Let me name you the number one teams the last 20 years and their odds. I will tell you this, just looking at it right now, the Wizards had the 2001. They had a 15% chance. The teams, John, that haven't had a chance, the 2007 Portland Trailblazers had a 5% chance, John, and they were in 7th spot pre-lottery, just like the Indiana Pacers are tonight. They had a 5% chance. They got the number one pick. They took Greg Oden with their pick that year. The following year, the Chicago Bulls had the 9th position in the lottery. They had a 1% chance, and they got the number one pick and took Derrick Rose. So it's worked out there. The Clippers in 2011 had a 2% chance, and they were 8th in the lottery, and they drafted and traded Kyrie Irving. Those trade rights. The The Cleveland Cavaliers in 2014 were 9th. They had a 1% chance. They took Andrew Wiggins with their pick.
Mm.
And in 2019, most recently, the New Orleans Pelicans had a 6% chance, just like the Pacers. Pre-lottery was in 7th, just like the Pacers. And they took Zion Williamson. So there is a chance that it can happen. But the last 3 draft lotteries with the new system of the top 3 teams having 14% chances, the Timberwolves in 2020 were 3rd initially. The Pistons were 2nd in 2021 initially. And the Magic were 2nd initially in 2022. So the team that's had the number 1, allegedly the number 1 worst team, hasn't got the pick in the last 5 years. The last time that happened was 2018. The Phoenix Suns had the number 1 pick with the worst odds, and they had DeAndre Ayton. So we will see what happens. We're moments away. The Mavericks pick goes to Dallas if it's number 11 through number 14. If it's in the top 10, Dallas gets to keep it. That was part of the Jalen Brunson trade, or sign and trade that happened during the offseason. Yeah, so we will see. And, they're going to drag this out over this next half an hour.
Of course, man. They got to feel.
Do you know the Pacers? The Pacers representative is Tyrese Halliburton.
Hey, man, you know what? A caller called into one of the local shows, man, was actually putting criticism on Tyrese Halliburton, man.
Oh,
about getting the team to about getting the team to the playoffs next. I wasn't the caller. If anybody thought I wasn't the caller, man. I am one of the more critical voices around here about the Pacers. If they're playing in May, isn't it better to be talking about Pacers and racing? You know what I'm saying? In the month of May instead of just racing. You know what I mean? And everybody else's team. So, no, man. I'm glad Tyrese is out there, man. He's a definitely good representation for the Pacers franchise, man. He's an all-star. We all know all these things, man. Hopefully, he can be a good luck charm for him as well. Yeah.
Hopefully it will be.
I thought you wanted to talk to. We can talk right in between time, man.
Yeah.
We can probably. We're gonna lose our minds about it, man. I promise, man. But this not NIL, but this ACC falling apart.
Yeah. How about that? 7 ACC teams are looking to break their contract and leave the ACC. John,
Brandon,
super
crazy,
conferences
dude.
are coming.
I'm here. The only reason why I mentioned, man, is because people listen to what I'm saying, man. They're talking like Virginia and Virginia Tech coming to the Big Ten. They're talking like Clemson and North Carolina State getting absorbed into the SEC. I don't understand. I mean, I get it from what the school is going to make and the programs are going to make, right? But I just don't get how that changes the power dynamics in anything.
Yep. Here we go.
Virginia and Virginia Tech. All right, here we go.
The time has come, John. Here's our deputy. Here's our deputy commissioner. We're going to see what he has. First one's obviously going to work their way down, people. 14-1. We'll see what happens. 14th should probably go to the Pelicans. It is. The 14th pick is the Pelicans. Okay. The 13th pick, technically, should be Toronto, you would think, if you look at the simulator. It is the Raptors. So the Raptors are at 13. If the Mavericks get one of these here, that's going to the Knicks. It's Oklahoma City at 12. So the Thunder at number 12. No surprises. It's gone in order. The 11th pick is the Orlando Magic.
Okay.
This was the Bulls pick initially in the Vucevic trade. Number 10, probably the Mavericks, I'm going to guess. It is the Mavericks at 10, so they keep their pick. Good thing they lost their last game of the year on purpose. Here we go, 9-8-7.
Oh, Brandon will lose it.
The 9th pick is the Utah Jazz.
All right.
Here's where the Pacers and Washington were tied. The 8th pick is the Wizards. So here's where the Pacers were initially at, the 7. The 7th pick is, damn it, the Pacers.
Lucky.
It is the Pacers at 7.
Damn, that speak it into existence, yeah. I should have took my money.
Well, you said 8, I thought.
No, I didn't.
The 6th is the Magic. Nothing's changed yet. Nothing has changed yet. The 5th pick is the Pistons. The Pistons are the 5th, and they had the worst record. So that puts Portland into the top 4. Houston, San Antonio, Charlotte, and Portland. They're going to commercial. But Portland moves up. The Pistons have the 5th pick, which, my God, they dropped so low.
Drama. This is like major drama, man, for real. Why?
Does Wembanyama go to Portland? Does he go to Charlotte? Does he go to San Antonio or Houston? Interesting. They're going to commercial. John, Pacers are 7th, unfortunately. Like we said, there's players there at 7 that you can take and be happy with.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's a mixed bag from the Thompson boys, who will probably go 4 and 5, Anthony Black, Jarace Walker, Cam Whitmore, Taylor Hendricks. Yep. I think you're all right there. Or they may even trade it, John. Do you think they could possibly trade and get a veteran, not a star, but veteran, not big time player. You know what I'm talking about, like an upper player.
Yeah, no, potentially move up, potentially in this draft, move up from 7 to 5, because the Pacers, we must remember the Pacers do have some youth on their bench and some youth that can shoot. It's streaky, right? And some other pieces. Remember when you talk about the contracts that they have, they can potentially tie to a trade to potentially move up. So yeah, man, they could. There's no way. I know Indiana people will probably poo-pooing it, but I kind of break myself for impact and say, oh man, no, Pacers gonna be kicking here at 7, and these are the guys that they can kind of be. Jarace Walker, if he's there, because it might be a stretch for somebody, for a franchise to pick him at 5. If I was a general manager, I might take him at 5. But the Pacers at 5, Jarace Walker, I'm feeling good at that. Pacers, Brandon was thinking pie in the sky. He wanted that elite level talent. He wanted that Amen Thompson. It's not meant to be this year.
Yep, I did.
You're still gonna have a good, solid young player to pick up at pick 7.
And can we be happy that the Wembanyama is not going to go to the Central Division? Let's be happy about that. Like, come on, people. Let's cheer for that. Right. His odds are he's going to go to the West, between Portland, Spurs, Rockets, or the Hornets. You would think that there might be some colluding with Michael Jordan, but I know he was leaving the Hornets, selling the team or selling his portion. So
right.
We'll see. Man, I'm still thinking Spurs, John. I'm still thinking Spurs. If you look at the standings, the Portland Trailblazers were 2 games better than Indiana, and now they're in the top 4. 2 games. That's all it was.
Get Dame some help. Is that what you're saying? They cooking up the lottery?
How about this? The Detroit Pistons had a 52% chance of having a top 4 pick. 52% chance of being top 4, and they're 5th. Some people need to check on some of our friends up in Detroit. Somebody put on Twitter they need to fire Ben Wallace since he was the representative tonight.
Oh, don't start there, y'all.
So, just craziness, John. Craziness. The NBA lottery. I can't wait to see Twitter more with all the fans. Indy Star's already putting some stuff out there for the Pacers, who they can go after at the number 7 spot. We had 6 last year and took Benedict Mathurin. So there's, like you said, there's a good chance. There's some good talent out there, whether you draft it or you trade it. Either one. I would even look at maybe. I know they won't do it, but I would take Mikal Bridges. I don't know. Would you trade the 7th pick for Mikal Bridges?
And Chris Duarte, absolutely.
Oh, okay. And the Duarte. All right, here we go. Wembanyama's taking pictures with family, all in Paris, France right now, and
and you're moving to Portland.
oh, it could be worse. You could have been, as Charles Barkley said, San Antonio. Them big old women down in San Antonio, according to Barkley.
Oh man, he said it. He said it, right? So
He did. Here we go. The top four. Brandon Roy is representing the Portland Trailblazers. Here we go.
Wow.
The fourth pick belongs to. I got money on this, by the way, too. I put some bets on. The Rockets. The Rockets are the fourth pick.
All right.
So it's either San Antonio, Charlotte, or Portland. The third pick is Portland. So it's Charlotte or the Spurs. I'm telling you, I picked the Spurs. The second pick is Hornets. He's going to the Spurs, John. I called it. I freaking called it. Did I not call that?
Hey, man, the NBA is fixed, man.
Go figure.
The NBA is fixed.
Rewind the tape. Rewind the podcast when you listen to this. I said, make some predictions. I said Victor Wembanyama is probably going to be a Spur because those are generational players, and somehow the Spurs find their way, and Popovich cries his way to get another one. David Robinson in 87, Tim Duncan in 97, and in 2023, Victor Wembanyama, another big man, going to the Spurs. Wow. John, I did put a bet in the other night on the Spurs at plus 550 to be awarded the number one pick. So got good odds for that. So happy to see. Happy to see.
Wow.
That. Spurs are happy. I don't know. We got to look at the roster. Where do they go from there? They're 22-60 last year.
Yeah, they jettisoned a lot of some of their talent. Like Walker was one of their talents a couple seasons ago.
Yeah, they still got Blake Wesley.
They've got, and he's a developing talent, man. So again, like, what is going to be around Victor Wembanyama? How much are we putting on his plate? That's what I was kind of interested about. And then, like, again, how long is Popovich going to be around? He's not. Is he going to be around long haul or the short future?
Look at Wendy. Windhorse is in Paris interviewing him. Oh, boy. So you got Keldon Johnson, Devontae Graham, Jeremy Shohan, Dougie McDermott, Blake Wesley, Zach Collins, Devin Vassell, Julian Champagne, Trey Jones, Keita Bates-Diop is there. Your boy, Romeo Langford.
Collecting a check.
Collected a check. Averaged 6 points last year. 43 games. So.
Give to the Crimson Fund. IU needs it.
Right, exactly. All right, John, my man, I'll let you kind of wrap us up tonight. Pacers at 7. Wembanyama's going to the Spurs. Man. As I called it. I'll repeat it again.
Yeah, man.
I called it.
Hey, Brandon Reeve called it, man. And like everybody, when we tune off the show, man, everybody's going to be losing their mind about where their team is going to be selecting who, man. Wow. What a great show we had tonight, man. I'm glad everybody called in. Mike Kelly and Reg, man. And then all those folks who kind of chimed in or interacted with us on the Facebook Live post, man. Great show tonight. I want to say thank you to Scott K. Nichols, State Farm Insurance. Our sponsor, I want to say thank you to Mavericks Custom Motorsports. Our sponsor, I want to say thank you to Wiseman Logistics. Our other sponsor, man. How can we do the show without them? Brandon Reeves, man. Our Tuesday night show. This is the Tuesday night slot that we used to have, man.
It is. It is a retro show, man.
The retro show, man. Great show. Great interacting with everybody, man. Bigger, better than ever next week. Probably different time. Probably Wednesday, man. Thanks for everybody for listening.
Thanks for listening to the Crossroads Sports Radio Show. You can find more episodes on iTunes and the Google